Forum, presented by Scott Credit Union. Yours.
Blue Note Fan Report, Free Agent Frenzy. Aloha and mahalo. Good morning. It is 6:38 a.m. Yes, I thought I was going to be on at 6, but I did not sleep very well. But here I am, and we have some news. There are some reports. There are some very big reports. First, Golf King. Golf King is not mad. Yes, well, I thought you were Golf King. I've not seen you around ever. Richard Cocknell says good morning, and I'm not sure who this is, but they're saying this is the earliest they've ever seen me. Yeah, this might be the earliest I've ever been on. I look, some of this news is shocking me. And I have to agree with that. The first news that we got is the Blues are probably going to extend Robert Thomas 8-year deal. I think it's great. It affects next season. It's a good signing. Get him now, get him off the books. Very smart. I'm okay with this. And not have to deal with free agency later on him, right? Because he's an RFA next year. Get him out of the way. Absolutely agree with that, right? The next two, okay, one I agree with, the other one is shocking me. There is a report that Leddy has re-signed with the Blues. Well, okay, that's good and that's bad, okay? I don't mind Leddy re-signing with the Blues. I really don't. How long? How much? I heard a 4-year deal. Well, if it's in the $5 million range, I'm not happy with that, right? Maybe $2 million range, maybe $1.5 million. I don't know. And then the next one, and this is the one. See, Richard Tiddle brings this up. Russ, hey Russ, how you doing, my friend? Thomas Greiss from Detroit signing with the Blues. I'm not okay with that. I don't like that. I think you have better options, cheaper, in my opinion. Oh man, who's giving me a laugh already? Mark Zufel. I don't know who that. I think Mark's been on before. He's given a big old smiley, laughing face. He thinks I'm funny and ha. But hey, Mark, thanks for joining the show. We appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to put those fingers in the air. On Facebook. If you're doing it on YouTube, please. John Helms, Tammy Pemberton, thank you so much. I think that Husso or you can re-sign Lindgren for not a lot and have him. Russ, welcome, man. Welcome. Thanks. Enjoy the show, my friend. I'm gonna. I've got NHL Network on. They're in my ears. I'm paying attention what they've got going on. I'm trying to watch everything. We'll be on for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You know, depends. I'll still do my regular 9 p.m. show tonight, and we'll talk more of this. Tammy likes Leddy, but would have much rather sign Perron. I think Perron just slipped beyond what it normally is. Shucky! Someone actually said, why sign Thomas to an 8-year, but can't do that for DP? Yeah, you can't. Yeah, 10-year age difference. I'm with you on that one. Right? Yeah. The lounge. That's the lounge. They don't understand stuff. Right? I usually get up around this time, so who is this? Who's bouncing me? I can't tell which. What are they on? That's my regular one. Oh, they're probably on. Hey, if you're watching me on the Hawaii Blues Fan Clan, you got to look at that post, and you may have to extend it a little bit where it tells you that I'm going on. Where it might say see more. If it says I'm live on StreamYard. You want to leave your comment. Oh, it's Danny Johnson. Danny knows how to do it. Ashley and Danny, you guys both know how to do it. So hook me up. Do that so I can see you. Richard says, Guy does sleep. Guy doesn't sleep very well, though. I agree Thomas is going to be special. I'm still not sure who that is because I've seen. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, that's Hefner. Not seeing all the comments. Not seeing all the comments, but hey, I'm trying there. Where we at? Danny Johnson. Let me go to the other live. Yeah, if you do it from my page, from Guy Bensing, it works really, really good too. I don't know why on the Hawaii Blues Fan Clan that StreamYard makes you have to click that little link there. But hey, wow, man, 10 people watching me this early in the morning. Well, 6:40 in the morning, noon your time. But I appreciate. They're I'm surprised. The Avalanche, I thought we're going to take a dip. I think I don't say better, but they're hanging in there, right? They're hanging in there. Golf King saying 4. Hey, Golf King, I missed you, man. Golf King, I really have missed you. And you can ask Ashley that. She'll tell you. I've missed you. I've missed you giving me shit. I really have. Right? And to the 15 people watching, please keep it coming. Keep it coming. We appreciate all of you. Oh yeah. Shen got just got married. I seen that. Work or watch guy. Your work is watching your sons. Your work is playing with Chase. You can do your work and watch me at the same time. Leddy in his 4 years were 16 million. Okay, I haven't seen that yet. Oh no, here it is. I see it now. 16, so that's a 4 million AAV. Okay, I'll take that. So that leaves about $1 million. I don't know what Greiss is going to be. Well, no, because if you sign Greiss, that's $2 million. Because you don't have to spend $1 million to bring a guy up from the minors. Okay. What was sexist? What did I say that was sexist? I don't know what I said was. Oh, no, that was not sexist. Robert Morton job, his main job, well, he has a side job, but he's a house husband. He's a house husband. That's not sexist. Not sexist at all. Whoever thinking that was not sexist. I don't see Scandella being traded. I really don't. I just don't. I mean, he's not a lot on the money side of it. I just don't see, and he's got a no trade clause. Right? Oh, breaking news. Blackhawks have signed forwards Andreas Anazao and Max Domi. Wow, very interesting signing on Domi. 1 year, $3 million AAV for each of them. Not bad signings. See, not sexist. He has a partial no trade. That is true. 8-year extension on Thomas. Yeah, but it doesn't kick in until next year, so it doesn't affect this year. That's why they could do that. Both being flipped at the deadline. I could see that. Why would they give Scandella a no trade clause? I've never understood that. Well, I don't know. Maybe they thought he would be more than he was. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, please throw those fingers in the airs. You know, even a laugh or an angry face like Tammy Pemberton, John Hefner, and Mark Zulf. I can't pronounce that name. He's hold on, let me pull up. Where is Scandella? Let me get my cat friendly up, guys. Give me a second. Good. You guys are challenging me early. Leddy, 4 million. I'm looking at some of the signings now. They're coming in hot and heavy. Blues now have 5 million in cap space. Less than that, about maybe 3 million, 2 to 3 million. Scandella's AAV is 3.275. I'm not sure what his actual salary is. but his AAV is 3.2. So I don't know. Thomas's report is huge. $8 million for Thomas. Wow, $8 million. To me, that means that either O'Reilly or Tarasenko's gone. One of them's gone, right? I mean, that's a huge extension. Huge extension, right? No, well, I mean, you could. I don't know. That's wow. They better hope the cap goes up more than they expect next year. Tanner's on YouTube. Richard Cocknell says Thomas. Yeah, Thomas was there. Richard says I don't understand cap space. Okay, Richard, I can explain that a little bit. Oh, I got a mad face. Who gave me? Richard did. I like that. Tommy Edwards, Danny Johnson, Richard Cocknell, Tammy Pemberton, John Hefter, and Mark. All of you, thank you for them fingers in the air. Okay, let me explain caps. So the way the NHL does their cap, right, is they have, they set how much based on revenue and all this, what the maximum you can spend on your salary is. Now, the way they do this is they take that contract and they break it up over the year. So a 4-year, $4 million contract would be a $1 million AAV, unless it's so a 4-year, $16 million contract would be a $4 million AAV. So with that, how we've signed, we're sitting with about $5 million in cap space, but that's on the surface. Under the surface, we have tendered offers to Nikola and Brunovich. Well, that money's coming off. I'm guessing that's about $2 million total.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that off. So you're looking at 2 to 3. So that's where I think we are. Right. Interesting day so far, Ashley. And
yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We've missed you. We have missed you. I'm trying to keep up. I think the Blackhawks made a good signing.
Yeah, I saw they got Domi.
I like the Domi one. I like that. And Domi's a younger guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like 25, 26.
Yeah, and he's feisty. Right? I like that feistiness he has to his game.
Yeah, he's going to be a type of guy that's going to help the younger guys. He's that young veteran, right? Because he's been in the league almost since he was 18, 19, so he's got time in the league, and that will definitely help bring him up. Everybody loves you, right?
I love them too.
Right?
No, I want to do some things in school. I'm sorry, but I am kind of playing hooky on one of my classes to be here, so feel loved, all of you.
Yeah, well, that's great. We're going to lose either O'Reilly or Tarasenko now, I think.
I mean, I hate to be the one to tell you, Guy, but it's probably going to be Tarasenko.
And I'm trying not to, my
but
9 Tarasenko jerseys.
Okay. I would rather keep Tarasenko, and I mean, I'm probably going to get yelled at for that, but I would rather keep Tarasenko and lose O'Reilly.
Danny Trower, another one of my hockey warriors. Missed you, Danny. You guys, you know what? I wish I could give you guys all a group hug because I miss you guys so much. I need your support, man, Danny. And I'm not talking about on the show. I'm talking in here. I miss that so much, Danny. I just want you guys to know that. Shockey says if they have tendered Scott Krug is
being shopped.
Who's tendered who?
Scott Perunovich, if we get.
Oh, yeah. No, they tendered Scott. He got his. I don't think Krug's getting shipped yet. I could see him getting shipped next year.
And
now if you ship Krug for picks or minor leaguers, then that's money for Tarasenko or O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's and I'm looking that way. Thanks, man. He was getting ready to leave last season. No, he wasn't, Rich. We've talked about this ad nauseum. I have talked about this. That is not
I can give you the speech he's about to give you in my sleep.
No, I'm not going to give it. It's not true. Oh my goodness, what a day are we having?
There's my buddy.
What a no, I think it needs to be this way. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay, Lance?
Just tired.
Tired, yeah. So Lance had radiation today, and I hope he's hanging in there. And just real quick, I want to say this. Lance, someone brought up something to me yesterday, and they felt that I might have been insensitive to you with the way I kind of played off what you had and talking about Jeff. And my response to that was, I don't want you to feel like I'm being oversympathetic to you. I've known you long enough I'm trying to be your rock, and I hope that's the way you took it.
I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Someone brought it up to me, and I wanted to give you the fairness of the doubt.
Well, I appreciate people caring about me, but whoever brought that up to you, that's the farthest from the truth.
I can assure you guys that if Lance is upset about something, he's going to catch it and he's going to say something immediately. Lance does not need anyone to fight his battles. He's got it.
Yeah.
Robert Martin says, guy would lose his mind if Tanks ended up on the Blackhawks and Wendy broke the story. Boy, you got that right. Tanner says, it's been a hell of a few days. I don't need to cry any more tears. But it is what it is. I just can't see Cinco being okay with leaving. And I'm with that. I don't see it either. And, it all depends. Someone saying big hugs.
Thanks.
Lance. Q was Terashink show. Yeah. Tommy's asking, does Perron stay?
No, there's no way they can afford him. And they also
the money's gone. You've got to trade.
Yeah, they're gonna be signing Greiss. Thomas Greiss is the backup, and the Perron doesn't have the money, and they're close to signing Leddy back. There's no way they've got the money for Perron, guys. I'm sorry.
They got Leddy at 4x4.
Yeah. Then what did I say, guy? If they could get him for 3 or 4 years under 4, I would go for it. I said that last night, but at the beginning he was telling people he wanted 5.5, and I think he realized very quickly at his age and what he brings to the table and with the way the market is, he's not going to make $5 million. He's just not.
Yeah. No, I'm with him. Oh God, I hate that. I'm looking at this now. There's a tweet. A series of clubs have called and begun with those pitching Nazem Kadri. God, it just... God, I
just hope he goes to the Eastern Conference so I don't have to hear about him.
And here's the thing. I saw some Blues fans that want to. They don't have the money. If they don't have money for Perron, they don't have money for a guy that wants $7 to $9 million a year. So I know some people would want him on the Blues. Personally, I don't like his style. Is he a decent player? Yes, he is. But what comes along with that, you're going to get him to be suspended several times throughout the year. And do you want people thinking the St. Louis Blues are a dirty team? If Kadri comes here, people are going to think the Blues
they already think we are a dirty team half the time.
We're not even close to a dirty team.
No, we're not
at all.
Right? We had how many suspensions did we have last year? I remember the number.
One.
Yeah.
One suspension. Right? That was the entire year. There's teams that had way more than that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that one suspension was, it was warranted. But it was also, I got to say this, I think that suspension did more to help the season than a lot of other things. Bushnevich headbutting, and I forget who it was an Avalanche, if I remember right. Mm-hmm. Headbutting an Avalanche, endeared himself to a fan base that didn't know him. While, that was
I don't know what endeared. I know a lot of people were kind of like, what the heck did we get into by signing this guy when that happened? But it did show us his feistiness. But I don't think it gave a good impression at first.
Yeah, no, I think that when he comes back, he really sets this up. Breaking on neighbors to get banking on and step up. I think. Yeah, I don't see neighbors. I seen the article, but I don't see neighbors being NHL ready this year.
I don't think he is. Could they force it on him? Yeah, but I don't think you're going to get the best results with him. The Thunderbirds, when he plays there, they're going to need him to play well, and You know, you can't bring up. It's now goalies are a different story, but guys like Neighbors, you know, you've got to get him seasoned a little bit more and let him play in the minors, get him used to the game, get him more playing time. That's one reason why Hoffer is not going to be up here to be the backup. They wanted Hoffer up here, but Armstrong vetoed it because Armstrong wants him to play every day, and he's not going to play every day up here, at least for now. And you know, I think the Blues are set up pretty well, bringing Leddy back. He's a solid defenseman who can move the puck. You know, they were able to sign Thomas Greiss, and or they're going to, and he's going to be the backup. But I know a lot of people hate on him, but guys, when he played in front of a good team, when the Islanders were good, I think his goals against were 2.36 and 2.6, something like that. If he's got a decent team in front of him, he plays very well. Yeah, he's been with Detroit, but what does Detroit have defensively? Nothing. So
I'm not.
I'm
sorry, Lance.
I'm excited about it because I think he's a good backup, especially from what I'm understanding. They're going to pay him. So
what are they going to pay him?
It's going to be somewhere between 1 and 1.5, from what I've been told.
Okay,
that's not bad at all.
If they can get him for 1.5, great. If they get him for 2.5 or 3, no, because we have better options for a lot cheaper. I think Hoffer's a better option. I think Lindgren. Look, you can get Lindgren for 1.5.
Lindgren,
right?
Hey, I'm going to tell you, if they go up to 2, I'll take Thomas Greiss over Lindgren in a heartbeat, in a heartbeat, because there's a reason why Doug Armstrong didn't bring up Lindgren and why they're going to sign Thomas Greiss. It's because they don't have full faith in that guy to play 20, 30 games in a season. They just don't. Otherwise, you know, Doug Armstrong's all about saving money. If they thought just a little bit that Lindgren could play that many games, they would not have gone after another goalie. And I'm with them on that one. He's not a backup goaltender. He's not a guy that's got enough NHL experience to where, let's say Bennington gets hurt after 30 games, that can come in and start. Thomas Greiss has started in this league and played a lot of games, and that's why I like him over Lindgren.
Okay.
I'm with
that's
Lance.
Fair.
I'm with Lance on this, and you know I loved Lindgren, but
yeah, I know
he was not a solid backup. He's like a third string backup.
Well, you know, one thing you also got to look at, he's the number 4 goalie. Mm-hmm. You know, Hoffer's considered third. You know, he was second until they signed, you know, until they're going to sign Thomas Greiss. You don't want a 4th string goalie. And I know people are going to say, well, Bennington did it. I'm sorry. Lindgren is not Bennington. He's just not.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I do like the one thing that I like about Lindgren more than I like over Hoffer is Lindgren can play the puck. That is something that I think is underrated. And the fact that Bennington acts as a third defenseman, he gets back there, he gets dump in, he takes a dump in, and he gets it out. So he takes away the forecheck of the other team. That was what no one else did against the Avalanche. The only team that did that was really the Blues. I know that the Lightning tried it, but they weren't successful. So when you're talking about goalies right now and what this league is, I want a goalie that can play the puck. And I don't think Hoffer is that good at playing the puck. And that's why I want Hoffer to get more time down in the league. And I want him to get told every single time that puck gets dumped in. I don't care about what happens. I want you to go back there and play the puck. Every dump in, go back and play the puck. I want him to learn it. I want him to learn it in in-game situations.
There's times you cannot go back and play the puck. So I'm going to tell you.
I'm talking about dump-ins.
Yeah, I'm talking about dump-ins too. There's times where guys will get in on you quickly and come after you, especially if you're a young goalie or even a guy that's only played in 15, 20 games in the NHL like Lindgren. Lindgren might be a little bit better, but I don't think he's that much better to handle the puck. I watch Hoffer with the T-Birds, and he looks pretty good handling the puck. Is he Bennington? No. But that's something a guy can be taught, like you said, Guy, in the minors, and I'm sure that they're teaching him to be better with the puck.
He's got to go from a 2 to an 8. And that's my issue, right?
I don't think he's a 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd call him a 6. And 5 or 6, and I'd call Lindgren maybe about
Hoffer.
Yes,
Hoffer with the puck.
Yep.
I don't know. I was watching him during the finals, the Calder Cup finals, and he just didn't go back there to play the puck. He had opportunities to play it and didn't.
Well, there's also a chance that the coaches told him, okay, with the team we're playing, don't mess with the puck unless you know for sure you can get it out of the zone. that could have happened too. But in the regular season, I didn't think he was that bad.
Yeah, this is a signing I like. This is a signing I like. Oh, and I heard a lot. So actually, at midnight last night, Eastern Standard Time is when teams could start talking to free agents. Because this broke last night. They could start talking to free agents at midnight last night, and there were agents' phones who started ringing at 11:50 or at 12:00. I mean, as soon as that clock flicked midnight, the phone started ringing. Someone says he may not be that type of goalie. Well, unfortunately, that's the type we need. And playing the puck, being able to move that puck around. Now, the one thing Hoffer did do, and I did like this, was the goalie goal. Right? He had a goalie goal in the playoffs. And that gives me a little bit better. So, yeah, okay, so he's not a 2, he's a 5. I'll give him a 5. I don't give him a 6. But he's got to be up into the 8. You got to get into the 8. Because that's what I think Bennington is. I think Bennington's a 8, 9, or a 10 when it comes there.
One thing you got to look at, Kemper's not that great with the puck. He won a cup. Saros in Nashville, I would say, is a little above average.
Kemper didn't have to be great with the puck because the puck never was hardly in his zone. Right? When your offense is your defense, that's the one thing. That's the one thing about a really, really good offense. And I've talked about this. Let me answer this one real quick. He scored a goal. A goalie goal is when the goalie scores a goal. So I don't know where the video is, but he got behind the puck, got a puck behind the net, squared up, and fired it across the ice into an empty net. And that's a goalie goal.
I hope not.
To the Kraken. Did that just
I
come
hope
up?
not.
Right? I didn't see that. Today announced the Canucks will agree to terms to Ilya Mikheyev to a 4-year deal. Canucks are having a good day so far. Right? I haven't seen anything on this. Can somebody check Twitter?
I'm trying to check it now.
Oh, I got something from Rutherford here. Let me kind of take a quick look. I'm talking to you guys and trying to do this all at the same time, so it's not super easy.
Well, if my camera goes off, I'm eating because I didn't get a chance to eat before my radio.
Oh no, that's absolutely fine, man. That's absolutely fine. I know what you're going through. Okay, where are we at here? Army did say he'd like to find some players for the fourth line. They offered Joshua a one-way contract, but he decided to go to free agency. He just didn't get time up here. I would like to see him. He couldn't acknowledge the Greiss signing yet, but said he'd have something in a couple of hours. Thomas extension on Leddy. Solidifying our top 4 was very important to us. Okay, I don't see anything. Army and Perron. I never say never, but the money situation that we have to work on. Everyone knows how I feel about David. Regardless of what happens, it's always going to be known as a great blue. Yeah, he's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gone.
Sounds like
I don't know where
similar.
he
It
goes.
sounds like something similar that he said to Backus too about Backus.
Yeah. Right. And you know, I get it. I really get it. Okay.
So whenever I say that Tarasenko probably is the one that's gone, when we go to sign next year's contracts, remember that I just lost my favorite player today, guy. I might be a little bitter.
Yeah, and here's the thing about it. Okay, they just signed Thomas to 8 years, $64 million.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues are not going to be like the Maple Leafs and pay 3 guys, Tarasenko and O'Reilly, $8 to $9 million. They're just not
I don't see that either. But
So-
the one thing that I do see trading Krug to free up some money, right? I think Krug is the defenseman that, and especially if Prunovich has the year that everyone expects him to have. If he can stay healthy, I seen that Claude to Ottawa. So Matthew get money in Calgary, Campbell to the Oilers.
Hey, real quick, did you hear what Calgary is offered Kachuk?
No.
8 years, $11.2 million a year.
Wow.
That's why all these people saying he's coming to St. Louis for $7 million. Guys, it ain't happening because Armstrong, I don't care who you are, unless you're Gretzky, Armstrong ain't going to pay $11 million for Matthew Kachuk.
Hey, Ash, we still got Scandella.
Mhm.
Your new favorite player.
Mhm.
Oh, she even knew.
Hey, one thing I can say about Ashley, when Scandella actually played good, she admitted he played well.
Oh, I know she did.
And
I
when
know
he
she
was
did.
out, I did say I missed his play, but it doesn't mean he's my favorite player.
Yeah, yeah, but we're making that joke in your face. Your daughter comes over and gives you a kiss on the shoulder. She knows. I'm sorry, that was good. Oh my goodness. Everything comes down to cap space, Rich. I mean, it
Yep.
really does. Right? Right now, let's go. Where is our cap space? They're showing our cap space at 5 million. Right? And that makes sense to me. The Thomas extension, 8.125 is the AAV on that.
So Guy, if they sign Leddy, that leaves them with $1 million.
No, this is the Leddy signings after the
Yeah.
5 million is after the Leddy.
Right.
Letty's
Right.
signing is done. It's been announced.
Well, if they signed him and they offered Mikola and Perinovich RFA contracts, then
Yeah.
they don't have anything left really.
No, I think that they got, depends on what they signed Greiss for.
Well, Greiss hasn't been announced yet, so
Has not, right?
it has not.
Okay, so that they have not signed him yet.
The
See,
Blues,
you know what?
The Blues are his
Now,
best
I'll tell
opportunity.
you what. There's a sign and trade. It's a trade. I see a trade. Somebody's getting traded, right? I don't think it's Krug. I think it's a player that people are going to be upset about.
I think it's Cairo because he would have been offered a deal at the same value as Thomas.
No, Kyrou we can wait on. I think it's somebody else, and I think it's going to really it's going to upset a decent amount of people. I think it's Barbashev, right? I think Barbashev at 2.8. But that you're giving up on a guy that has the potential to be a Anaheim signed Frank Vetrano to a 3x3.65. That's from Elliot Freeman. I think Barbashev. I think it's. I don't like giving up on Barbashev because we get.
I'd rather give up on Barbashev than Krug.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry, he's
problem
good,
is we're
and that
spending too
means
much
that
on
we'll
defense.
get something for him.
Problem is we're spending too much on defense and not getting enough in return. Right?
What'd you expect of the guy last year? I mean, he's had some of the best points in the league for a defenseman.
And he didn't play that much because he was injured. So, I mean, he was like second on the team in plus minus. He was in the plus 20 something.
Yeah, no, I get that. And that's why I think that his value
Krug
is
and
up
Falk
there.
are such a good pairing that I don't think it's a good idea to get rid of them. That is a solid pairing.
Krug is going to get okay. Everybody trashed him the first year he was here. He got better, like Falk did his second year. They're only going to get better in their third year.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I know it's a partial no trade, but I'm still not against the idea of if we can find the taker for Scandella to do that, to bring up Perinovich when he's ready. But I don't think moving Krug, I think Leddy just solidified our defense. Our defense isn't going to be a problem this year.
There has to be at least Blues. There's the extension of Robert Thomas. You know what? I think this is Costin's chance. Right?
I really like the Flower deal, Richard.
Yeah, that one
I really like
kind of
it.
surprised me. But I actually got on Twitter an apology from Ian yesterday.
Ooh.
Right? Because what did I say? I said it right after the trade deadline, and I brought this up with even Jesse Pierce, the NHL.com writer for the Wild, and everyone told me, no, they're fine, not going to happen. Cam Talbot's in Ottawa, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it.
Well, I knew
was
Talbot
something.
was going to be mad.
Huh?
I knew Talbot was going to be mad when they signed the Flower. I knew it. He was already mad about the playoffs. So, they were going to have to move him. And Shockey, I'm with you on that. I would love to see that.
Now that I could see. Now that would actually open up about $5 million. Now, see, that right there would open up enough to keep Perron and allow Costin and who else? I don't like Joshua going away. I really don't. I wish because they would, if they're offering him a one way, that means you're on the roster. You're staying up. Right? You're not being waived, you're staying up. You're going to be. Now you might spend some time in the press box, but you're going to have the opportunity to play.
I don't think it's the money. I think he wanted 2 or 3 years. I don't think it's the money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but anywhere else, I think it gets a two-way, not a one-way. I think the only place he gets a one-way is here.
I don't think he's concerned about that. I think he's just concerned about the term. Even if it's 2 years and it's a two-way, I think he'd rather have that than a 1 year and a one-way. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking, because otherwise, he would have signed, because he's not going to get much more, or even that, for what the Blues offered him. So, I mean,
I think, not saying Krug is bad. So on D, we have Krug, Falk, Parayko, Mikola, Prunovic, Scandella, Leddy.
Well, yes, we do, except we don't really want Bortuzzo to play all 82 games. He's great, don't get me wrong. But when you have him, he's not your solid. Mikola's learning, he's getting better, but he's also not ready for 82 games. Perunovic, I would put him in the same thing with his injuries last year. He's not necessarily consistent. So it's good to have options. But look at, you got Krug and Falk. That's one dynamic pair. I think that Parayko and Leddy will play very well together, and it's just that third line that you're going to rotate.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think Burns to the Canes has been I don't think that trade has happened yet.
It's not.
Yeah. No, Campbell is no longer with Campbell got traded. Or Campbell signed with the Oilers. So you got Murray, and then they got who did they get as a backup? Ilya Samsonov.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That he's backing him up. He's their insurance policy. It's a good move. Oh wow! Sergei Chev signed an 8-year extension with Tampa. Now the chips are falling, right? And Grudeau is still the big one. He hasn't fallen yet. That surprises me. I expected him to have a deal. I mean, right off the bat.
I think he wants more money than most teams are willing to offer.
No, it's not the money, because he got offered an 8-year. He got offered a huge
8 years, $10 or $11 million from Calgary, and he said no.
Guy,
because I'm hearing this is an Edmonton deal. Right?
Whenever you were complaining about Lindgren, Armstrong said that he offered Joshua and Lindgren both one-way contracts, and they both decided to go UFA.
Okay, well then there's
Lindgren is choosing not to be here.
Yep.
Okay, there's your answer.
Hey, Guy, there's no way they can get him in Edmonton, because Edmonton's cap, they only have $2.2 million, like I said last night.
Yeah.
And they only have 16 out of their 23 spots signed.
Who are you talking about?
Edmonton. Yep.
Oh man, free agency just going like a bat out of hell here. I'm keeping an eye on it on Cap Friendly. Edmonton. The Oilers.
They have 2.2 or 2.3. I checked it last night.
2.2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, 2.2, and
they don't have the money to sign Gaudreau, and I don't think they're going to move anybody.
Oh, you know, Gaudreau's on. Gaudreau's not going to Edmonton. Gaudreau is from the New York, Philadelphia area, right? That New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia. Where is Johnny Gaudreau from?
I thought he was from Canada.
No, Salem, New Jersey.
All right.
Right. From what I understand, his dad is sick. Right, and this might be Mason Marchant to Carolina for a 4-year deal. Not done yet, but working on it. I'm trying to cover all of this. I think it's one of those things where he wants to be closer to his dad, right? If his dad's sick, I get it, right? Edmondson, right? He went to Montreal to be closer to his father, who passed away this year. So that kind of makes sense. Sharks get next year's 3rd round pick and 2 players. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm with. That's not bad. Oilers and Brett Kulik have agreed to 4 years at 2.75, so they got to make another move if they're doing that. Because they didn't have 2.75, I don't think.
Nope.
Right. So we'll see what's happening there. I heard Jersey might be a spot for Johnny and take less money. Yeah, that's what everyone's been thinking that he's going to do. And I'm not sure who this is telling me that. I'm not seeing John Hefner's put some things up. Walker signs for 1.5 and only wears a note or salary lowered. Yeah, no, Walker signed a 2-way deal. So when he goes back to
Springfield, he a 2-way deal. So when he goes to Springfield, he gets paid a Springfield salary. When he's up, he gets paid here. When they go to Springfield, that's just like Neil, right? When Neil went to Springfield, his $750,000 came off the books. They just replaced it, right? I don't know what that means there, Rich. Upholstery passes Musial. Somebody passed Stan Musial for something. Is he
yes.
Pujols.
Okay, I can see that. In home runs for the Cardinals? I
no,
can see
hits.
that.
Extra base hits.
All-time
extra
hits.
base hits. Okay.
Yes,
Yes, we did talk about this. He signed a 4x4. Decent signing. I hope it. The thing is well, now and this was brought up by a few different people. Him and Prunovich are the same player. Well, yes and no. They're the same style of player, but Krug is way, way above what Prunovich is.
Yeah,
Prunovich is hoping to get where Krug is.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys, like I brought up last night. Who cares? You've got 3 lines of defensemen and a 7th possibly. Who cares if he's the same as a guy on another line? I mean, that makes no difference to me.
Especially when it's good. If it's good defense, who cares?
Yeah,
You got 2 lines of the same type of player each
not
on
only
it.
that, you have 2 very solid guys to quarterback the power play, right? And then not only that, see, when we got Leddy, you remember my biggest concern when we got Leddy, we gave up Sundqvist, and Sundqvist was such a major portion of the penalty kill, right? The penalty kill got better.
Yeah.
My only issue with the penalty kill now
and I
is,
think that the only thing that had me kind of on that deal was if Leddy was just a temporary thing, but him signing, I'm okay with that deal now.
Right. My issue, my concern right now is the guy that ran the penalty kill is no longer here. Right. That was Montgomery. So I'm hoping whoever takes over the penalty kill understands what Montgomery did and keeps it the same. Because we were tied with the best special teams in the league, and the other team made the conference finals. Right? I'm telling you, our special teams, all we need is that guy that's going to help 5-on-5 scoring. Right? And losing Perron does hurt a little bit. But now it's time for Costin. Now it's time for who else down on the farm? Somebody help me out here. Who on the farm can we get to do what?
Nobody. Nobody. There's nobody.
Nobody. But
nobody.
At the same time, we had 9 people that scored over 20 goals. Do we really need anyone to replace him, or do we just need to shuffle and strengthen our 4th line?
And a lot of people are putting Brown permanently, and he's going to play every game on the 4th line. No, Brown is not
Brown is going to move up.
Brown is not a full NHL player. I'm telling you, He's
No,
just
he's
not.
not.
Well,
I'm
you watched
sorry.
him last year. He looks in over his head at 70% of the time. Does he make some good plays? Yeah, he can make some good plays. But if the Blues are relying on Brown to have a solid fourth line, they're kidding themselves.
I'm with you, Devontae. I'm
We
with
got
you
Greiss
100%.
for well, we're taking some penalty on him of 125,000, but we've signed Greiss. So
Why
I
are we
think that
taking a penalty?
I don't know. Minor league contract. It looks like he signed to a minor league deal. They signed him to a minor league deal. Ooh, that's interesting.
Is that a typo?
No, there it is. Thomas Greiss 1.25 in his cap hit is one for the 22-23 season. He's 36. He's a 36-year-old goaltender. He was drafted 94th overall by San Jose Sharks in the third round of 2004. He has signed 8 contracts worth a total of $25 million over that career span. So I'm not sure why he's listed that way. So we got him for 1.25, and our they've got him. Yeah, I think it might be a typo. His daily cap hit's only 125,000. So no, that's about right.
Yeah, Joshua has officially left. Joshua has signed a deal with the Canucks.
Ooh, interesting.
Told you he wanted more years.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua with the Canucks. Interesting. I think that's a good place for Joshua.
I do too.
I think that's a very good place for Joshua. Walker, I think Brown's issue for me, and I've heard some things, and I'm not going to go on what I've heard, is work ethic, right? And I'm not going to say what I heard, but John is work ethic. I think with Berube fixes work ethic, right? I think Berube is going to ride. You know what Berube is. I figured out who Berube is, and it makes a ton of sense now. Are any of you guys NCIS fans?
I've watched
Berube is Gibbs, right? Berube is Gibbs. He's stoic. He's no nonsense, but he trains. Gets people to be better. He makes them better. That's what's important. He gets them to focus, and he makes them better. And I think that's what he's doing with Brown. And I think Brown playing third line center or our third line wing is going to help him. Right? I really do. Am I off base here? Or does that make sense?
I would not put Brown on the third line. I just wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
From what I've seen with him with Ottawa and what I've seen with him here, he's just.
Well, I'm talking about. I wasn't talking as much Brown being on the third line, but Berube being Gibbs.
Yeah. Okay. And I like Walker. I do. He's not an 82 game guy. He's not. A guy likes him. I like him.
I like him too.
No, I do.
Yeah. He's a guy that can give you 40, 50 games, but you keep him in the lineup for 16, 18 minutes. His weaknesses are going to show up.
Yes, I was complimenting Berube. I really was. Now that I understand him, I was complimenting him. Right? And Tammy says
until the Blues are actually playing, and then he'll go back to the insults.
No, I don't think so. I think I have to be honest with you. What I saw out of that team this year surprised me. When they got guys hurt, I really thought Berube was going to shorten the bench, not give those young guys a chance, that he wasn't going to, but he did. He went against his grain, and that's what good leaders do. Good leaders do that. Good leaders understand that sometimes what you were doing doesn't work, and you've got to change it up. And that's what he did, and he changed it up, and it worked. The only thing he did this season that I didn't like was he broke up the Spezza line, and he kept it broke up when he really should have put it back together, because that line was working and other teams were feeding off of that. I'm not mad, but I think it would have been. I do think that. Look, was I wrong? Yes, I was wrong. Did Husso have a good game 6? Yes, he did. However, Husso also gave up that weak goal with 5 seconds left because he wasn't paying attention. I could be wrong, but I think it could be a retooling year. Not a retooling year. They have a ton of cap space off the books when O'Reilly and Valley contracts expire. No, it's not just those contracts, right? There's a bunch of contracts that are expiring.
Cairo will too.
Yeah, who else?
Cairo, I think.
Cairo, yeah. So that's, let's see, that's 15, 16, 17, almost 18 million coming off the books, right? And then, if you trade one of your defensemen, that's another 6.5. One of those 6.5 defensemen. Confirmed Burns to the Canes. Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but it's because I'm watching you. I'm trying to swing my head both ways. You're gonna pick Easy E off with the. No, I think Berube made some really good ones. Greiss, a 1 year, 1.25. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. I don't like his age, but I'm in. But but you know what? You offered it to Lindgren. Lindgren turned you down. I have said that I thought Hoffer needed needed more time down on the farm, and I still think that. I think he does need some more time on the farm to work on his puck handling. So I'm okay with this.
Well, he's going to have a hard time this year because they've got nobody down there. Really, nobody that's going to help out defensively. I mean, there's really no guys that you can say, oh, they're definitely NHL players and they're going to be good defensemen. There's really nobody down there anymore. And I don't think the Thunderbirds are going to be real good this year.
I don't know. They're not losing a lot. They're not really losing a lot. Right? I mean, Lindgren and Joshua and Neal are the only ones that I know they're losing right now. Everybody else got tendered. McGinn got tendered. Who else?
Well, here's the thing. They've basically lost Perinovich because he's not going to be there anymore. He was there part of the season last year.
Toropchenko's going to be out until December.
Toropchenko's going to be out. Yeah. I mean, I just don't think they're going to be as good. And he's going to have to really step up. Not that he was bad last year, but...
Oh, no. They played really well in front of Hoffer.
It's going to be a test. It's going to be a test for him this year.
I agree. It'll be a test for him. But it also doesn't mean Lindgren could... Lindgren may not get offers anywhere.
But Guy, he's a backup.
Oh, there we go. They're getting neighbors.
Yep.
They're getting neighbors. I don't see neighbors being on the NHL
roster. Is Bolduc come up yet, or no? Is he
Who?
too young? Bolduc?
No, he's too young.
Bolduc's only 19.
Okay.
He doesn't turn 20 until next year, until later next year.
And so he'll be
in juniors. Bolduc will be in juniors, right?
Yeah, he's nowhere ready. Even if he was 2021, he's nowhere ready.
Hi, Billy.
I'm just talking for the T-Birds, not for us.
Say again?
I was just talking for the T-Birds, not for us. He said he's nowhere ready. I know he's not going to be in the NHL.
Yeah. Neighbors, I like Neighbors' game. I just don't think it's there. Now, he did make a really smart decision, I think. Right? The World Juniors that was in December, he was on that team, got moved until next month. He has played a lot of hockey because of playing in the juniors and the junior playoffs, and then the what do you call it, cup over there? I can't think of the name of the junior cup that all 4 leagues play for.
Huh? Was it the Calder?
No, Calder's is the AHL cup. There's a cup that they all play for.
I can't think of what it is.
Murphy Cup or something like that, right? They needed, will play a lot. Nah, I don't think so, Rich. I don't know. I agree with Shockey. He's 2 years away. He's not going to play in juniors in July. He's played a lot of hockey. His body wasn't feeling right, so they're going to let him go. Well, I will be back. We will be on at 9 o'clock tonight. This is a special. Probably go a half hour, maybe 4. I want to see. I want to give just a little bit more time. Okay, Ash. Thank you so much for showing up. See you tonight, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. We'll have a great one. Good show so far, though. Right now, I really do. I think we're covering a lot, and I appreciate it. Tommy tried to tell you all for years, long live the chief. Tommy, I'll give you credit. I haven't been on board, but I got to be more on board, right? I will say that. Oh, for some reason, a lot of my comments just went away. Oh, well. Where are we at? Oh, we're having a good time. Brian Davenport, Laura Brannon, Tommy Umbridge, Danny Johnson, Richard Cocknell, and others. Thank you so much. We greatly, greatly appreciate you for putting your thumbs in the air on Facebook. And if you do it on YouTube, you got to know I love you. Oh, hey, I got to ask, man. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. When we had the e-bug on, what did you think about that conversation?
I thought it was very interesting.
Right?
I liked it, and I kind of didn't like it when he said he didn't. I like the fact that he knew his role, and he didn't think he was part of the full team. But I guarantee you, those guys on that team treated him very well.
Yeah, I think they did too.
Yeah,
right. I think they did too, and I don't think that's what he was saying. He was just saying, that he wasn't in the room.
Yeah,
he's not in the room.
Yeah, I get that. I was just saying that they treated him well. I didn't think he thought that they didn't. He's right. He was an e-bug, and he might see him off and on, but he's really not part of the team, as you could call it.
He brought up something about the MLB, and I think this makes a lot of sense. The MLB has what they call the bullpen catcher, right? And he's a paid member.
Yep.
Paid member of the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an injury, he's the one. If there's a second injury, he's the one that comes in, the non-roster guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NHL needs to go to that, right? I think the NHL needs to have a third goalie, a practice goalie, a goalie that's in on practices, a goalie that's taking warm-ups, right? That's taking some warm-ups, that if there's, and each team has one that travels with them, almost like a coach, a type of coach, that can be there if there's an issue. So you're talking about a guy that's young enough that's young enough to actively play.
Yeah, the only problem is with the way that the CBA is, they can only practice so much. And if you start giving him very many reps in practice, that takes away from the backup goalie. I think that would be the only issue. Now, could you have a coach that coached him a little bit on the side? Maybe, but the CBA is pretty strict when it comes to how much they can practice, how often they can practice, and how long the practice can be.
Thomas says St. Louis has been a second home to me. Yeah, well, Thomas got really lucky. Thomas got in with the Kachuk family, and they treated him like a son, right? I mean, I remember during the 19 run, Keith told Matt and Brady, because normally they shared the basement area, that it was off limits to them during the playoffs, right? So he really did give them that thing. I'm excited about today. I didn't think I'd be excited. Am I happy Perron's leaving? No, right? I got to be honest. I'm not. Perron's been that guy. Devils and Islanders in a battle for hockey. I could see that. Right? Just joined in. I'm not sure who this is. What are we thinking of not getting Perron back? Now, does Army think we've got best of him and are just ready to move on? No, it's a money. It comes down to the money.
It comes down to money. It comes down to money and his age. I think the Blues only wanted to give him 2 years to 3 years, and it was much less than he wants. It was somewhere around $3.5 million, and he said no. They countered it somewhere between 5 and 6, and the Blues just can't pay him that.
I got to say this right now. There's still the opportunity to bring him back.
But he's not going to take that money. And here's another.
But hold on.
Here's another thing. He's 34 years old. How many guys do we see sign a 3-4 year contract at 34, and all of a sudden at 36, 37, they're falling apart? We saw it happen with Steen, and he shouldn't have signed him to 16 to 6 years. It should have been 3 or 4 years. And you got all these young guys. And he's gonna start deteriorating. I've heard some people say, "Well, he can play till he's 41." No, David Perron will not be in this league when he's 41 years old. He just won't.
Oh,
and you
no,
can't.
I don't see that.
You can't give a guy like Perron $6 million for 3 or 4 years. You've got other needs, like you said earlier. We've got to sign Kyrou, and the Blues have told him they're going to work on a contract towards the end of this season. So they're not leaving him out there in the lurch. So I think a contract will be done with Kyrou before the end of this upcoming season.
Yeah, and I also think, I think that if whatever we're going to know by the end of the season what they're, which one, O'Reilly or Tarasenko's moving on. I really do. I don't, be honest, it's really hard to say what's going to happen there. It really is. Billy Hashberger, thanks for throwing them thumbs in the air. I really appreciate it. I just don't know which one you gave me. He gave us a thumbs up. Okay. Making sure he wasn't one of the guys laughing at me. I think the Blues did some smart thing. And what I was trying to get at, and I understand what you're saying, when I go look at the where the Blues are at right now, okay? Their cap space is 4.8, right? 4.8. Okay, that's not a bad number. I think it might be a little bit smaller than that. I'm not sure where Greiss is. Well, they've got Greiss signed to a minor league contract right now. They've got him on the minor league. So that's where the penalty is. So when we bring him up, that 1.2 will come off. I think that's the way it works. I'm not completely sure, but they've got him listed as signing a minor league deal. Right? Okay, that now that makes sense. So okay. The only way you keep him is if you get rid of somebody like Barbashev. You trade off Barbashev, because I don't see, or you somehow find a training partner for Scandella, and that opens up some money, right? But you still got the two RFAs, Nikola and Prunovich, and we don't know what they've been offered yet. Right, neither one of them signed, so that's the issue. You've got to hold that money out until they sign. So that's kind of where I'm thinking right now.
And I want Blues fans to understand. Everybody's saying, "Oh, the Blues owe it to Perron. The Blues owe it to Perron. The Blues owe it to Perron. He should retire." Guys, a lot of players should retire with their teams, and they don't. Gretzky, the greatest player to ever play, played for three teams or 4 teams. He played for 4 teams. And he's the greatest player to ever play. I mean, Gordie Howe played on a couple teams. I mean, guys, it's a business. And when a player gets a certain age, you cannot invest big money in that player more than you can afford. You just can't.
Yep. See, here's the thing with Greiss being on a minor league deal. Let's say and what that does. So here's the reason they signed Greiss to a minor league deal, right? You sign him to a minor league deal. You have him down in the minors. During training camp, let's say Hoffer really does show that he outplays Greiss, especially at age, right? You bring Hoffer up for less money. Now you take a penalty, $125,000 penalty for Greiss being in the minors on his deal, but you're still at $1 million. The money still works, right? I think it's smart. Justin, I'm still saying no. I know Lance says yes. I'll let Lance tell you why he says yes, and then I'll tell you why I say no. Go, Lance.
I say yes because the Blues know they can't sign him and O'Reilly, and Berube loves O'Reilly a lot more, especially after this signing of Thomas. They don't have the money for Tarasenko or O'Reilly, one or the other. And I think if I had the choice, and like Guy and I said last night, if somebody said $8.5 million for 6 years for O'Reilly or Tarasenko, I'm taking Tarasenko because, like Guy said, you don't stop scoring. You may score a little less, but guys that know how to score, they normally, unless it's something mental, they normally don't lose that, especially guys that score 30, 40 goals a season. You normally don't lose that until you get pretty old. So, if I had the choice, I would keep him. I just think the fact that O'Reilly gets along better with Berube. He's more of a Berube type player. And the fact that the Blues shopped him last year, even though he didn't demand a trade, and I'm going to say it again, He just went in and said that, hey, what's going on? I feel that it's this is going on. Do you guys still want me here? If not, it wasn't trade me now, which the way Jeremy Rutherford portrayed it. It was, if not, then let me give you a list of teams I'll go to and see if you want to get something done. But if you want me, I want to be here. Basically, what Tarasenko said. He doesn't want to leave, but he's a good enough player and a good enough guy that if the Blues want to trade him, he's not going to say no to a trade. That's not the type of person he is. He's not Alex Steen, who the Blues tried to trade twice at least in the last couple of years he played, and he vetoed those trades. That's not known by too many Blues fans. But Tarasenko's a different player. I just think that right now his market value is really, really high. If he has another big season, could they move him in the trade deadline? Yes, and get a lot for him. If he falls back a little bit, the market value is not going to be as much for him. So I think if the Blues want to trade him, they trade him now. If not, I think they're going to have to take a deal that they have to take at the trade deadline. And it's not that I don't want him to be here. I want Vladdy to be here. It's a matter, you can't pay Ryan O'Reilly $8.5 million. You can't play Vad $8.5 million. And then you've just paid Thomas $8 million. You're going to turn into the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're not going to be able to put players on the ice. And you might be good for a year or two, but after that, you're going to become the Chicago Blackhawks.
I agree. Hey, George White from England. Hello. How you doing, my friend? You know what? Hey, George, it doesn't matter when you watch them, as long as you watch them, my friend, as long as you watch them. And if you comment, I see your comments. And you can always PM me, bud. And Robert Morton has the comment of the night. I think this is the best comment we've had all day. I think he's right. As soon as I read it, I was like, oh my goodness, there it is. Thomas is your replacement for O'Reilly. I can see that.
I can see that. And
I can see that. Now, if Thomas is your replacement for O'Reilly, as much as everybody loves O'Reilly, I still want Tarasenko. I want Tarasenko. What I like about O'Reilly is work ethic. Work ethic, and Lance, you're about ready to laugh your ass off. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Work ethic rubs off.
Had to get it in there, didn't you?
I had to. Work ethic rubs off. It does. When you have a guy like that, it rubs off. And I think it took a while. I really do. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Welcome to the show, my friend. This is Guy, the Y Blues fan, and Lance Scott. We're the host for the Blue Note Fan Report. I can't even get it out. I'm laughing so hard. But no, it does.
Oh, come on, Robert.
I think we saw that this season. I talk about this, and Robert knows, and he talks about me and my love affair of Tarasenko. The turning point of the season was Tarasenko standing up for Thomas. Tuba Ruby on the ice in the middle of a game. You noticed that happened in March. Look at what April was. April was the best month they had. I mean, April was amazing. Right? This is what I think. This is what I think that I'm not 100% sure that the captaincy was as big as of a deal as it was made out to be.
It was not. It was not.
But if he's earned that C. When O'Reilly got the C, Tarasenko hadn't earned it yet. Yes, I just said that. Tarasenko had not earned that C yet. He's earned it now.
And there's some guys like O'Reilly, and I love, like you said, his work ethic, and he's a good player, but his production since he's got the C has went down. And I would hate to see that happen to Tarasenko because he feels like he's got to be responsible and be this and be that, because he's no use to the Blues if he can't still score. You know, if Vladimir Tarasenko signs a contract and comes back for $8.5 million for 6-7 years, and he's putting up 18 goals and 30 assists and being a captain, it's not worth it. I'd rather him not be a captain and put up 30 to 40 goals and 40, 50 assists any time of the day. The captaincy, guys, to the team, it's a little important. The fans make a lot more out of it than the team does. Trust me.
Yeah. This is one I think Neighbors then replaces
No.
Thomas. Actually, I think Neighbors. I'm going to get shot for this one. You know who I think Neighbors replaces?
Who's that?
Cairo. I think Neighbors replaces Cairo. They're close in age. The money's there. They have this. They're both scoring guys. They're both got. They both have some holes in their defensive game. They've got speed. I think that. I think Neighbors' development could make Cairo expendable going into his UFA.
I don't think so. I think the Blues need both of them. You need scoring.
Possible.
Scoring.
I just what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Kemper to the Caps. I can see that. Again, I'm trying to do 5 different things at once, so I can't see everything. But him yelling at Berube over Cairo, yeah, Vladdy is worth the seat. No, that was. I'm telling you, that wasn't
Cairo. That wasn't Cairo. It was Thomas.
No, it wasn't Cairo. It was Thomas. Right. Yep. Kane stayed with the Oilers. I think that was a good move. I really do think that was a good move by the Oilers. Right. I really, really do think that was a good move. Right. I think Tarasenko absolutely showed who and what he is. And this season, he gave you, I know people say there's times where he looks lazy and there are times where he looks this and times he looked that. Shin's a long term.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I've watched thousands of NHL players. I know what lazy is. Guy knows what lazy is. I'm going to tell you something about bigger guys. I remember when I was younger and Pronger was playing, he's so slow. He just doesn't get in. He's physical, but he's so slow. Guys, Pronger was not slow. Was he the fastest guy in the league? No. He had above average speed for a big guy like him. It's like Bouwmeester. When these big guys move, their stride looks so fluid. It looks slow. Tarasenko's a bigger guy, 6'2", 230, 240 pounds. He's not lazy. Okay. When you get in the league, you figure out when you should rush to an area and when you shouldn't, when you should stay where you are and when you should go somewhere. He's learned that. And sometimes it may look like he's being lazy and not going to a certain area. He knows he shouldn't go to that area. So Tarasenko's not lazy by any means.
Let me. I brought this up yesterday. I'll bring it up again today before I talked about Eric's comment here. We've talked about it, Eric, but we'll re-talk about it. Give me a second. There is a meme out there in actually, let me see. Somebody sent it to me. Let me see if I remember who sent it to me. Give me just a second there. Lance.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do a little searching because it kind of it goes into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who sent it to me. I just got to find it. Or it might have been something somebody tagged me
While
on.
you're looking for it, I want to let people know that, okay, Evander Kane is a more physical guy, but he can score goals like David Perron. He can score some important goals. He signed for $5.1 million. Perron's not going to take less than $5 million, and that's why the Blues can't afford him.
Okay, I can't find it, but there's a meme out there and a story, and it was told by Pavel Datsyuk. All right, it wasn't told by Pavel Datsyuk. I forget who it was told by. But it was about Pavel Datsyuk. When Datsyuk and Brett Hull were on the Red Wings, they came back after a shift, and as soon as they came back, Brett Hull ripped into Datsyuk, ripped into him. Why didn't you pass me that puck? You should have passed me the puck. Datsyuk says you were covered. Hull's response was perfect. And this response belongs to Vladdy. Okay? I've scored 400 goals covered. Next time, pass me the damn puck. Right? I think Leddy pairs with whoever you want to pair him with. I think he can pair with Falk. I think he can pair with
Parayko.
Krug. I think he can pair with Parayko. I think he can pair with Mikkola.
He could do a Scandella.
Leddy can move around.
Yeah.
Right? Wow, look at the money they're spending. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah.
McDavid, 12.75. Nurse, 9.25.
Yep.
Draisaitl, 8.5. Hyman, 5.5. Kane, 5.1. Ryan, 5.1. They got to be paying everybody else bare minimum.
It's going to eat them. I think they're going to have a problem with being, solid from top to bottom. Within a year, they're going to have issues. So Edmonton's going to have to be all in this year. And from what everybody's told me up there that covers them, that's their feeling. They're in all this year. That's why they went ahead and gave Kane the $5 million that he wanted, because he was telling him at first he wanted 7. And I didn't think he could get 7.
Yeah, but I mean, they gave him term, is what they
Yeah,
did, and then you trade him, and that way you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we feel about our goalie situation, Lance? I'll let you handle that first.
I'm perfect with it. I have no issues with it at all. They've got Hoffer ready to come up. If they sign Greiss, he's a good backup. Bennington, I think, is going to have a bounce back year. He's healthy now. He's not recovering from COVID. He's not recovering from an injury. Is he going to be the 1.89 goals against guy he was in 2018-19? No, of course he's not. Is he going to be a guy that can be around 2.4, 2.5 goals against and in the top 10 or 11 guys in the league? Yeah, and he's got the potential to be in the top 5. So I'm not worried about goaltending at all.
I think he can be. I think he can be a 2.1 to 2.2 guy, right? And I also think he can be a 930 guy, 920 to 930 guy. I would be extremely happy with that.
I think he'll be over 915. I think he'll be 915 to 920. It's very hard to go through a whole season keeping a 930. It's really hard to do.
I know that, but I look at our defense. As we described, Cadre and his rep Darren Ferris continue to work 2 presentations this afternoon. Colorado is still in the mix. No guarantee a decision is made today. That's interesting to me. That's interesting to me.
Well, we all know Kadri, and if he gets offered close to it or more money than anybody else does by Colorado, he'll go back to Colorado. If somebody offers him more money, he's not going back to Colorado. He's a money guy.
He's chasing money.
Yeah, he's chasing money.
Chasing money.
Yep.
And that's why I have it's one of the other billions of things I have an issue with.
I'm sorry, a guy that chases money, yeah, you got to look out for yourself, but a guy that puts money first, he's not a team player.
Right. Now, okay, so here's what I think happened, Eric. When the Blues signed, they offered a one-way deal to Lindgren, and Lindgren turned it down, said he'd rather go to free agency. Okay, fine. Now you have Hoffer. Hoffer is almost ready. I think that one of the things that lacks in this game is this puck handling. Yes, I know he scored a goalie goal, but I've seen some other things that maybe think he needs to work on his puck handling. I'd like him to get a little more seasoning. A little salt, a little pepper, maybe a little oregano, a little basil.
A little Montreal steak seasoning, that should help him out.
Yeah, there we go. I think he needs a little more seasoning. And that's fine, but by signing Greiss, and they didn't sign him to an NHL deal, they signed him to a minor league deal. Take a small penalty if during training camp, Hoffer shows he's ready. Great, you bring Hoffer up, it's the same money, right? And then Greiss is tradable. Greiss is absolutely tradable, right? I'm guaranteeing you at 1.125, there's teams that are going to need an experienced backup goalie. His age is the only thing that
I'm not concerned about his age, and I'll tell you, he had some other offers, but he wanted to come to a team that's got a chance to win. And I don't blame him. He's 30, like you said, 36 years old. Goalies are on borrowed time when they get to be 34, 35, 36 years old. And he knows this might be his last chance. And, could he hang around and sign somewhere else next year? Yeah, he could. But these goalies, guys, when you haven't won in a long time and he's never won a cup, he hasn't won since he was with the Islanders. And, you've got to take the money you can take. And to me, Thomas Greiss is a team player. He took the money because he wanted to come to a team that was going to win. And that was what was important to him. And could it backfire? Yeah, but I don't see it backfiring. If he can be somewhat close to Husso, maybe around that, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, no, I am too. I think Thomas Greiss signing makes a lot more sense now than I think it ever did.
Yeah.
Right. It really did. I think it makes a lot more sense now than it did when it was first reported.
Yeah, because he, like you said, Guy, and like I said earlier, he's been in the league long enough. If Bennington, let's say, gets hurt 45 games in the season, Thomas Greiss can fill in and be pretty good. Is he going to be probably as good as Bennington? No, probably not. But is he going to be better than Lindgren? I think so. So I think it's a win-win for anytime you can get a goalie with experience that has been very good before, even if it was 2 or 3 years before. You got to look at where he played in Detroit. That's not a great place to play.
Yeah, but Detroit had a better season. They still were in the 60, 70 point range.
Yeah.
Right? This was a team that everybody thought was going to be in a 40-point range.
Oh, I thought they'd be better than that. I just didn't think they'd make the playoffs. Yeah,
but they were much better, and they've made some good moves. Detroit
made some good moves, yeah.
Detroit's made some good moves. I'll tell you what. I said this yesterday, and I still believe this. Ottawa is all in. Ottawa is all in, and I'm not talking about making the playoffs. Ottawa's making a run, right? Ottawa is making a run, right? AJ, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yes, we've talked. Oh boy, we talked it now about Leddy. I think I was a big Chucky Sideburns fan. He did a great when he was up with us, but it was such a small sample size, bud, and that's the issue here.
And the Blues are playing very, very well in front of him. There was a lot of games where I think a couple of his games were like 20 to 23 shots on goal, not a lot of action, not a lot of second chances. And hey, I give it to the guy. He came up for 5 games. They gave him the win in that 5th one because he did come in to relieve Husso, but he played well. I just don't think he's that guy that can play 30 games a year. That's it. Is he a guy that can give you 5, 6, 7 games? Of course he is. He's that guy.
Yeah. Right. Let me say a big thank you to Chris Shockey and Billy Hosberger. Thank you for giving them thumbs up. We really appreciate it. No, I see what I see, and I like what I see. One of the things that I think the Blues did, and this is something we just found out today, and that's the difference. Joshua, let me ask you this: would you like to have seen Joshua stay with the Blue Note?
I'm a yes no guy. It really doesn't matter to me. I think he gave some energy. He played well for a young guy. I'm not upset that they let him. That he didn't take their offer. But I wouldn't have been upset if he'd have stayed. I'm
but
in the middle.
That's what I'm saying. I would have liked him to stay, but and they offered him. They valued him. Okay, yeah. They valued his style of play. It's important. Decided to try free agency. Lindgren, they valued his style of play. They offered both of them one-way contracts. That means they got to pay that money. That stays on, even on a one-way contract. When you go down, that money stays on the books.
Yep.
Right.
You're making $1 million. You're making $1 million in the AHL, and you're making $1 million in the NHL.
Well, yeah, and when you go to the AHL, though, that money stays on your cap.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's the important thing. On a one-way deal, the money stays on your cap. Right. The only way it doesn't is if it's an IR situation. When you go down for
reconditioning.
Reconditioning stint. There's a clause for that. Right. I don't know who this is, but what position are you asking for? Oh, it's Hefner. What position, John? And I think I'm caught up with everybody else here for the moment.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yep.
That's the important thing is what position, John. And then I saw someone put in here. Oh yes, absolutely. Blues were on fire then. That helped a lot. Just needs more experience. I'm with you, AJ. I am. Someone commented. Here we are. Justin Mullins. Colorado is going after Patrick Kane, hot and heavy. Not sure how true it is. The only way I could see them going after Kane and getting Kane, first of all, Chicago's got to eat money, and they've said they would. They'll eat the $5 million. It'll be a trade of a $5 million player, but I think Kane and Kadri don't work well together, and I also think Kane and I can't think of their number one guy now. McKinnon will work well together, right? I think they're almost the same style of player. I can see him being in on it. I don't see Chicago trading him to a Central Division foe. That's just where I'm at on that, right? Claude doing 3 years in Ottawa. They definitely are going for it now. Oh yeah, absolutely, Shockey. I absolutely think that they're going all in. Andrew Kopp's on the show. He signed with the Rangers, or no, signed with Detroit. Detroit is going to end their playoff drought. The East is shaking up. The East is shaking up a lot more.
Yeah,
a lot more.
Who's the team doing the same thing, and they're still not going to win? The Penguins. The Penguins not signing these old guys and expecting this. The Penguins, after Crosby and Malkin are gone, and Letang, they're going to be terrible.
Yeah. Who did Crop sign with? Let me go back and look.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell you what. You know, I know we're not big Detroit fans, but I'll tell you, Steve Yzerman knows how to build a team. You know, the Lightning, they're all because of Steve Yzerman. Even the team today, a lot of it has got Steve Yzerman's.
Krupp was a trade, wasn't he?
Huh?
Coop was a trade. I think Coop was a trade.
I thought it was too.
I may have to go look for a trade. They don't show. They just show signings here. So far, 54 signings for 138 years, 134 million in caps hit, 537 million in total contract dollars signed today so far. Woo. Right? So yeah, so we got Greiss on a 35 plus contract. So that does give us. That's why we got That's why he can go to the minors, and we only take $125,000 penalty, 10% penalty to us for now. When he comes up, the penalty goes away. Then the money comes on. There's still money. There's still some money available. There's still a trade available, right? No, he went to Detroit because they were talking about him being from Ann Arbor, Michigan. He got traded to Detroit, and then from the Rangers, I think. I can see Kadri gone and the Avs picking up Perron. Oh, I don't know if they have the money for Perron.
Well, here's the thing: Kadri wants $7 to $8 million. Or, you know, he's not going to get. I think he'll get 6.5. Yeah. Perron, I think if Colorado went to Perron and said, "We'll give you 3 years at $5.4 million," Perron would jump on it.
I think what's going to happen, Perron. This is what I think is going to happen. I think Perron does want to stay in St. Louis. I really do. Okay. And that's not to say that, you know, contracts broke down or all of this. Perron's going to go out, see what's available, and say, okay, here's the money I can get. Okay, Blues, this is what I can get. I'm willing to see what how close you can come to this.
Yeah, but he's got to be
willing to match.
He's got to be careful because the Blues, they broke off, contract talks. And I know Armstrong, I'm never going to say never. He said the same thing about Backus. Yeah. He has no plans. He's going to move on, just like he did from Pietrangelo to go out and get Krug. And what's going to happen, though? There's
nobody out there for him to move on to. There's nobody out there that I think is Perron-esque.
No, but I'm saying he can move on to another player, and the Blues pay him $3 million a year, and then there's no money for Perron.
Yeah, but I think I really do. I think that Perron is keeping the Blues abreast of what negotiations are going on. I don't think Perron's days are absolutely numbered yet.
I do. I think he's done.
I just have a feeling that we're going to find out that he was working. I'll tell you what. And I'll tell you, and hopefully none of my fantasy guys. In our league, we just changed our league to where now you don't start one goalie, you start two, right? And I have lucked in. Now I was boarding goalies, and I lucked into a situation where right now I have that for my goalies, my NHL goalies, I have Bennington, Elliott, and Forsberg. Right? Forsberg is a very interesting thing. Forsberg is a commodity, a very hot commodity. I put out that I'd be willing to trade. I have 5 guys IM me. I'm going to tell all 5 of them, make me offers instead of, they were asking me what I want. I'm going to change that. No, you offer me what you think is best, and then I'm going to pick the offers or negotiate between them. I'm in a position of strength. I think the Blues are in that position right now with Perron where they can use Perron to negotiate with other teams and then come back to Perron with what they can do. And you know what? If they traded Barbashev to keep Perron for 2 years, I'd be okay with that. Because Barbashev's gone next year.
I'm going to tell you though, it's one thing for talks to break down during the season or during the playoffs or whatever, or right after the playoffs. It's another thing for 2 to 3 days before they break down, and they're
I don't think they
off.
broke down. I don't think they necessarily broke down. I think it was, to me, a breakdown is, it isn't an impasse, but it's like, you know what, I'm done talking to you. That's a breakdown. I think these guys came to a point where they said, okay, this is as far as I'll go. This is as far as you'll go. Let's see who's right. Go out in free agent market. See what you're getting offered there, and then come back to us.
I still say that Armstrong.
That's not a breakdown to me. That's not a breakdown. That's
Armstrong's not going to give him much time. He's not going to give him much time past tonight or tomorrow. Armstrong's not going to sit there.
One day. I'll give 1 day.
He's not going to sit there and wait if he sees somebody else that might somewhat fill that role. Who? I don't know. Maybe he's going to make a trade, with Barbashev or something like that. But Perron's minutes are running out here.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I just don't think that it's completely done. Carried to the Avs, and the Avs lose in the final. I like that, Shockey. I like that. Man, what a show today. Are you doing okay?
I'm a little tired. I'm getting worn out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, because I think I'm going to end it because I want you tonight. I'm going to need you tonight, bud.
I'm going to take a nap a little bit.
Because there's going to be a lot going on, and I think I'm going to need you tonight. Need you now. What's that song? I can't. It's
a 12:15. I'm all alone, and I need you now.
Yeah, there you go. Right. I'm going to need you now, bud. So hey, great show though. Great show. I'm glad Ashley got on. We got to talk about a lot, and we covered it as it was happening. I think people got a very good analysis of what we saw, and we broke it down for them. I hope they like it. I hope they share the show out. I'll see you tonight, 9 p.m. Ashley should be with me. Lance should be with me. Don't know what guests I got. We'll bounce around and see. Maybe I can get Richard Campbell. He's a Detroit guy. Maybe I can get somebody else, some of my other one. Lindgren signed with the Caps. Oh, there we go. Right. And that makes sense to me. That's a good signing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the backup role that he needed. Right. I'll check with Cap Friendly, see what they're saying here.
And Golf King, make sure you put a D in that name.
They don't have them yet, bud. It's not listed yet, and I'm keeping this updated. I really am. Look, I think Lindgren's a good signing. I really. Oh no, here we go. Yep, Charlie Lindgren to the Caps. Stand $3.3 million. 1.1 cap hit. Okay. One way contract for 3 years, and that's why he went with it. Mm-hmm. Good signing, right? And then someone said Dakota Joshua did sign with the Caps. 2 years, one way for for 762.
You mean the Canucks?
AAV 762. So he took less money to go for 2 years.
You said the Caps. I think you meant the Canucks.
Canucks. Okay, I'm sorry, Canucks. Vancouver Canucks. Wow, I mean some good. So Brendan Smith to the Devils for 1.1. Nick Bergelin to Arizona for 900,000. Charles Hudson to Colorado for 750. Darcy Kemper to the Caps, so he's going to back up Kemper. Kemper got 5.2. Wow, overpaid, way overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Xavier something to Pitt for 750. A lot of 750 guys here.
A lot of third, fourth line guys, upper AHL guys.
Yeah. Sergachev to Tampa Bay for 8.5. That's a hell of a contract. Cicerelli to Tampa for 6. I don't know where Tampa has all this money. Right? Because Tampa was over the cap. Just some really good signings today. I give the Blues credit. I think the Blues did well today. Right now, I'm giving them an A. Lance,
Yeah.
what are you giving him right now?
I'm giving him an A minus, somewhere in that range. I do like their aggressiveness with Thomas. I don't know if they could have got him for a little bit less, but a lot of people are really wigging out. He's not worth it. Hey guys, your centermen are going to make more money than your wingers. And when you get a good centerman like Thomas, you're going to keep him and you're going to pay him. And that's exactly what the Blues did. They didn't mess around with trying to offer him, a qualifying offer for some. They said, okay, we're going to commit to you. We're going to give you 8 years. We want you to be here.
Yep. This is similar to the contract Tarasenko got.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The one he's on now. It's similar. The money really, it's close. And you look at overall when Tarasenko got it, you adjust it for inflation. It's the same contract.
It's a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good deal too. Okay, Lance. Oh man. So hey everybody, this is Guy the Why Blues fan for Lance Scott from the Drop. Well, actually, I think he's more from the whole BlueNote Fan Report now. But and Ashley Slapshot Jones, who had to go make lunch for her kids, saying aloha mahalo, and I'll see you tonight, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we discuss more about the agency. You gotta know I am bleeding blue with you. Aloha.